Hello guys and welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled Extra, and we've got a relegation special for you today. We're going to end up deciding who we think the three teams to go down from the Championship are. I'm joined by Callum Fowler as always, and Ian from the 4,000 Holes Blackburn Rovers podcast. We might be talking about Rovers in this conversation. But let's start. I think we can all agree, unfortunately, that Sheffield Wednesday are going to finish bottom of the league. I said unfortunately there, you don't think that, do you?
Oh no! Well, you got me on because I'm relegation specialist, being a Barnsley fan. Is that what it is?
But yeah, we all think Wednesday are going to finish bottom, so we'll leave that there and discuss some of.
No, we could talk about that for 10 minutes if you want.
We'll discuss some of the other teams. I think we should start with Norwich City, who've just parted ways with Liam Manning. Do you think they could go down this season?
Yeah, I think they could, but everybody up to Middlesbrough probably could at this stage. I don't think they will, though. I do think someone like Sargent, I don't think you can go down when you've got one of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah,
same other way. If you've got best keeper like Johansson near top, I don't think Norwich can go down with some of them players that they've got.
You're looking at this from who can Blackburn Rovers finish above this season. Norwich have caught us all a bit by surprise.
Yes, very much.
Do you think they're in relegation danger in terms of Blackburn competing with them? It depends on this next managerial appointment, really.
That's exactly the point. And also, to your point about Sargent, can they keep hold of him in January? There were rumours over the weekend that Burnley were sniffing around him, for instance. And that would be
he's got the World Cup for USA coming up.
Yeah.
But if he's not firing, will anybody come in and pay what Norwich want?
Well, the Norwich want, his value's dropping though, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, but
10 mil?
No way. They don't sell someone like that for 10 mil. It's Norwich. It's not someone like Oxford that's got... Like, no disrespect to Oxford, but it's not someone with like no money that's got someone like this. Norwich have got so much brass behind the scenes. You'd think that they wouldn't accept someone like that for what is the best player?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Norwich will be probably okay, but we'll have to find out our predictions later on. Sheffield United, on the other hand, Callum, it's going badly wrong for them. They're still in the bottom three.
I think they could be in bottom. I really do. He's trying to find two teams to go down with Wednesday is tough.
11 defeats from 15 games.
Yeah, and it's
appalling.
like, you know what it is as well? They weren't playing well last season. I've said this so many times, especially like towards back end in running. Sheffield United were not a good side. They absolutely romped Bristol City in playoffs and they were unlucky in final, I guess you could say, if you want to dry your eyes about it. But I don't... Again, trying to find two other sides apart from Wednesday that are going to finish below Sheffield United where they currently are, I think is very tough.
Absolutely. Blades, you'd think they would have enough. Not taking Callum's Yorkshire bias out of it.
What's really chastening about this conversation is we've sort of said Sheffield United and Norwich City are having terrible seasons. Both have been to Ewood and won. I'm just throwing that out there. Sheffield United, I think Wilder has enough about him to have some short-term impact. And I thought that the way they played at Ewood was going to be the start of their recovery, and then of course they slipped backwards because not every team is as inviting and as accommodating as Blackburn Rovers. I still think they'll get out of it. I'd be amazed if they're in the bottom three at the end of the season.
I think with the Norwich point about Josh Sargent, they can't get relegated because they've got the best striker in the league. Gus Hamer's one of, if not the best midfielder in the league. I think he's injured right now, but I think him on his own could keep them on.
But Sheffield United are naff up front. They've got absolutely nothing. It were getting a lot out of Campbell last season, who's not been the same. Again, going back to what we said earlier, you've got your best centre-back playing at right-back. They've got someone like Sadiq who could play there, but they're putting Tanganga there to try and shoehorn players in. It's just not very Wilder this time that he's come back. The togetherness aspect don't look like it's there. And I think the damage has been done in that 3-month period where they sacked him, brought a load of players in that didn't fit this style that he wants anyway, for a manager that had only lasted 7 games or whatever it were. I think they've got to get to January. If they're in and around it still in January, I think they'll spend some money and be okay. Yeah. But I think they'll be in there till then.
One team we kind of expected to be in this position before the season started was Oxford United. Gary Rowett did a brilliant job to keep them up last season. They're struggling now, 13 points from 15 games outside the relegation zone but feels like they could be a team to drop in if Norwich and Sheffield United.
They're one of the teams on my salvation checklist.
I love that, the salvation checklist. That's superb.
So Oxford and Portsmouth are two sides at pre-season. I think a lot of Rovers fans looked at and said, well, we must be better than them, aren't we? And until we play them, it will be hard to gauge. As I say, Sheffield United and Norwich City have already come to Ewood and won. But that said, we went to Hull and won. So it's a bonkers division. All results are possible. I think Oxford and Portsmouth will not be many places away from where they are in the table now.
Portsmouth have been quite disappointing. Messinia's been there quite a long time. Josh Murphy's a fantastic player. Their form at the minute is shocking. 14 points from 15 games in total. They're sliding towards significant danger.
Yeah, again, very poor going forward. I think Murphy's playing okay still, and they spent some money. Portsmouth did in summer, kept the better players, like you said, your Murphys and Bishop, brought Chaplin in. but none of them are scoring goals that they were last season. Bishop were very clinical last year. And I think defensively they're okay. It's not end up well when you look at like the goal difference and that compared to some other sides and the goals conceded. But when you're not scoring enough, it's a big problem if best you can ask for is like a 0-0 or a 1-0.
Absolutely. And Blackburn just above them. I'll let you take over here. We had a little conversation on the show earlier in the week about Blackburn Rovers, but your gut right now with Big Val in charge?
We're in the conversation. There's absolutely categorically no doubt about that whatsoever. The injuries are starting to mount up. The suspensions are starting to kick in. You're asking a number of players to play in unfamiliar positions with each match, with varying degrees of success, shall we say. So I think the warning signs are there. There are red flags there from previous campaigns where we've got relegated, and there's a lot of the common factors that are occurring time and time again. So I think Rovers are going to be in the clag this season, full stop. What happens in January, I think, is going to be absolutely crucial. The club has already sort of like posted that we're in the market for 3 players in January, which is something they always do to try and quell unrest amongst the fan base. We could be in for 3 players in January, but it's a long time since we signed somebody better than a player that's left.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the barometer. So if the likes of Tronstad and Cantwell and maybe Toth disappear in January, are we going to recruit our better calibre of player? Because if not, there's only one direction this club is going, and that's not the right one.
We'll have to see on Blackburn Rovers. You had a few views on Swansea City, I believe, Callum, as well.
Yeah, I've just been gaslit into thinking Blackburn are in a lot more trouble, though. The January aspect's scary for that. Yeah, Swansea, thing is, with some of the other teams, like I think West Brom, honestly, are not a good footballing team. But you just think with these type of sides, Swansea are very intelligent and go about it right way and have done for years. What's typically a League One size club, I think you could say, that are always well away from danger at Championship, budget-wise and everything like that. But you think that, like going back to it, West Brom and Swansea had sacked the managers if it got to that sort of place. And a squad as a whole are built much better than some of the other teams below them. And I don't worry for Swansea transfer-wise if it comes to it, whereas I do with some other sides.
Southampton have won 2 in a row and taken themselves out of danger. I think we all think they'll be fine now. QPR, interestingly, they got beaten 7-1 by Cov and then went on a really good winning streak. Now they're 4 games without a win, lost 3 of them. So streaky. I don't know how to feel about QPR right now. I don't know if this continues. They might panic and sack a manager, or they might have to make a managerial change. And you look at the table, they're only, well, I say only, they're 9 points above Sheffield United, but we are expecting improvement from that bottom 3. Either of you think QPR might get dragged into it?
I think they'll be okay.
I would expect that they'll be okay. I think there's 3 teams worse than them, but that said, as we say, it's so clustered and so concentrated in the middle of the division, in the same way that a run of 2 or 3 wins can lift you up. Then, as QPR are discovering to their cost, 3 or 4 games without a win can start to see you being dragged down towards the no man's land at the bottom of the table. So it's possible. I think it's unlikely.
And does anyone want to be brave and pick out a team in the top half of the table that they could see getting dragged?
Derby County, definitely.
Derby after 5 wins in a row, potentially. Hey, Leicester City in 12th, 21 points. Points deduction coming their way? Dare I suggest they could get dragged into a relegation battle?
No way.
I think you're hoping for that rather than expecting
that might be a bit of my bias coming through. Right, I think it's time. We need to nail our colours to the mast and predict the bottom 3, in which order. Ian, I'm going to come to you first. Sheffield Wednesday, bottom, presumably?
Yeah, I think so.
And who are you going for in 23rd and 22nd?
I'm going to go for Oxford and Portsmouth.
Oh, Blackburn finishing?
We're going to finish 21st and by the skin of our teeth.
The celebrations in the streets.
They'll be singing and dancing in the streets of Blackburn this evening.
Callum, 24th Wednesday?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one that we can get locked in. I think you're looking at 18th down from Swansea. I do really worry for Portsmouth. I think they could go. Something about Oxford, though. Something about Oxford and Gary Rowett that makes me think they'll stay up. I'm going to say Sheffield United just for a laugh.
In 23rd?
Yeah, why? No, in 22nd. We'll go Wednesday, Portsmouth, Sheffield United.
There's a man who never wants to shop in Meadowhall again.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll go out of town, man.
I will go Wednesday in 24th. I'm going to go for, I don't know. I think Oxford aren't good enough, ultimately. And even Rowett, though. He's a miracle worker, but I don't see him being able to repeat the feat again. I think they'll go 23rd. And I'm sorry, I've invited you on the show as well. I'm going to say Blackburn Rovers to go down
How can you do
in
this?
22nd. I'm sorry. We'll have to wait and see. But you've convinced me, basically, with all the off-the-field problems and what could happen in January.
It's going to be a torrid season.
Back his meal.
Yeah, it's going to be a torrid season. And as I say, I would have shaken hands on 21st right now, categorically.
Get your thoughts in the comments below. Please give me your bottom 3 in order from 24th to 22nd. Who is going down from the Championship this season? You've heard our thoughts. Now you need to get yours in the comments down below. Like and subscribe while you're down there. We'll see you on Monday for the Sportsman Untitled.